Hi, good morning. Today is the 14th of November 2021, and every week at Zimmer and Peacock we do a retrospective look back at the news for this week. So this is that sort of look back at the news, or our news. Now, at Zimmer and Peacock, we are, one of the first things we did, when the business was first, starting, was we made screen printed electrodes, and it was actually screen printed gold electrodes. What makes us unusual, and I know I've said it a lot in the vlogs and the ZP Developer Zone, is at ZP we're one of the biggest consumers of these gold electrodes. We do a lot of contract development and contract manufacturing for very large clients, and so we're really using these gold electrodes, and that's why I kind of sometimes say it in podcasts and vlogs and these webinars, the gold electrodes are really high quality because in fact we're using them day in day out within our own work. And so what happened here is we went into, if you're looking at the vlog, we did cyclovoltammetry on 86 electrodes, and they very well all overlay on each other. Now if you do this with a lot of off-the-shelf screen printed electrodes, you will find that from electrode to electrode there's really quite a lot of variability, but this is 86 electrodes all tested at the same time, and they're very close to all being on top of each other. I just want to say hi to Aftab, who's come online this morning, but we just put a little image up this week of 86 electrodes. You can't tell how many electrodes are actually being tested by cyclovoltammetry because they're all overlapping each other. And this came from our production team, and it really is a strong reflection of why these gold electrodes that we have are so, let's say, good and repeatable, because we use them a lot, and this is the proof that they actually are, let's say, as good as we say they are. So thank you to the production team who made these great gold electrodes. Thank you for sending me the data, and then I was able to sort of put the data on the website and say, this is why I can say sometimes they really are the best electrodes. So thank you to the team for that. Now, something else that we just wrote some articles about this week is, at Zimmer and Peacock and at many companies, you have to ask yourself, what is at the core of what we do? So I suppose technically what's at the core of what we do at Zimmer and Peacock is electrochemistry, electrochemical biosensors, electrochemical in vitro diagnostics, so and an electrochemical wearables. So the heart of what we do is electrochemistry, but really when you peel back what we do is, and a lot of what's going on in the companies like Zimmer and Peacock is actually project and program management. And we have clients who come in. I just want to say hi to Ahmet. I want to say hi to Aftab. I appreciate you coming in. So we have many clients, and even though electrochemistry is technically what we're doing, we're often doing really project management and program management. And so this week I just wanted to describe the different kind of project management styles that are out there. There's a big tool used in project management is obviously the Gantt chart, and the Gantt charts sort of suggest that you have a very deterministic sequence of events, that if I do A, it will lead to B, and B will lead to C, and C will lead to D. And this is a Gantt chart, and it's a bit like a waterfall. So there's a style of project management where you say, I do this, then I do this, then I do this, then I do this. It all happens in a very deterministic fashion, and you practically know the outcome of an event even before you start it. Now, with Zimmer and Peacock, a style that we often use in biosensor development, I would really call agile. So on the sensor development, often the sensors that we're developing, nobody's developed them before. So you really don't have a deterministic vision on what's the answer going to be. What we would often do is we would try 3 things and see which one worked the best. So that's and so agile really comes from software development. I know Aftab rather is on line, and Aftab has a background also in software development, and in software development you make, you test, you iterate, you make, you test, you make, you test. So in software development, they don't have a sort of a big effort where they make something and at the end of it they test it. They're always making and testing, making and testing, making and testing. And this is really the agile approach to project management. Now, agile approach to project management. Now, at Zimmer and Peacock, we actually use that agile approach quite a lot in the sensor development. We'll try it. Did it work? Try something else. Did it work? And so we're really using the agile principle. And the reason I sort of say that is, we sort of do agile principle in R&D, but then when you come into the sort of commercial world, they do expect a sort of project management style. Now, what they're classically looking for is the waterfall style, but I think actually the agile style works better in the research phase. You can even combine these two types of project management. You can have a waterfall style, but actually the task is development of a biosensor. Within that task, you could really just have an agile style where you said, you didn't know the answer, but you just tried many things until you actually sort of either ran out of time, or it actually worked, or it was as good as it could be in the time that was actually allotted to you. Yeah, there we are. So Aftab, who does have a background in agile project management, said, OA, test, review, beta. So he agrees. So we do use the agile style quite a bit in our biosensor development, and because we have quite an experienced team, we can also use a sort of project management style called Scrum. So in Scrum, if you want to make a project go quickly, you want to run many things in parallel. In order to run many things in parallel, you need, for each thing or task or work package, you need senior people who've probably done it before. Now, because ZP's been around for a while, and we always stay focused on our electrochemical biosensors, our electrochemical wearables, our electrochemical in vitro diagnostics, it means we do have senior people who've done it before, let's say. So we can have a Scrum method as well, where 5 senior people get together at the beginning of the week. They decide what they're going to do. They go away and do it, and then they come back the following week and they say, how did it go? So it's almost like on a weekly basis. And we do use Scrum quite a lot. Scrum and Agile are kind of quite related in some ways, but Agile, you make, you test, you make, you test, you make, you test. Scrum says, I need to get this project done very quickly. And in fact, rather than going from task to the next task to the next task, I'm going to run all my tasks in parallel. But in order to do that, I have to have a lot of, let's say, belief in our team. And I say I mean, you as well would have to have a lot of belief in your team, and that works well for us because the team's been together for quite a long time. So the reason I have this kind of, and then the last one here is strategic, which for me, strategic is you have a big vision on the horizon that you want to achieve, and you're essentially kind of doing work towards the big vision, but you don't necessarily have a very solidified plan. So we just wrote this note really because we do have clients, and they all want this kind of waterfall idea that I will do this, and then I will do that, and I will do this, and of course science is sometimes you don't, the effort doesn't equal reward, or sometimes you get lucky, so it's hard to sometimes follow these kind of very rigid plans, and that's why we've had to sort of put that description out to describe the different styles. I'll come off the point, but you can see if you want to read that, that's up on our website. So we talk about Agile and we talk about Scrum styles of project management. Now, it's been a busy week this week. We've been to a show in the UK called Farm Innovation. Myself and Matthew and Joe set up the show. And Farm Innovation is a show that takes place in the NEC, the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham. There we set up a stand and we essentially sort of talk to farmers and growers and talked about nitrate sensing in general. So show went really well. We got a lot of really good feedback. If you're watching the vlog, you can see all these. You can see all the photographs of it. And I just got an interesting comment as well from Aftab, that Aftab's just saying that scrums have sprints, and he's right. There's a sprint mentality where you're going to try and do something very quickly, and I do feel like Scrum and Agile and maybe sprint efforts, these are the right philosophies sometimes in projects, and Waterfall is, it can be a little slow on occasions, the waterfall style. So the photographs I'm showing online are just us at the show talking to farmers about nitrate sensing in the soil, and the show went really quite well. So thank you for the team for helping to set that up this week. Slight change in direction here, and I know that several of you who follow us on LinkedIn saw this already, but we've been talking about doing it for a while, and now we've done it. We've opened up an office at Swansea University. So my sort of belief is that if you want to sometimes get into a new country or a new region, it's not bad to actually do it through a university. Now, Swansea is in the UK, but I'm just mentioning this to Aftab, who's online, that eventually when we get enough presence, I'd quite like to do a new office for ZP in India, but do it, in an incubator setting in one of the cities, so that we can be essentially part of the kind of university culture and architecture. So we have opened up a new office in Swansea that officially opens on the 24th of November. But we're very happy to be in there, and that will help us coordinate our efforts at that university. It's not the end of our desires. We did put some more photographs up also of ourselves at the show. We've also been to some glass houses this week. What I mean by this is that we're obviously very interested in measuring nitrate in soil, but you also have kind of glass houses where crops are potentially grown, and so we sort of went around there and tried to figure out how our nitrate sensors would play into these kind of settings as well. So it's very nitrate centric this week in terms of this vlog, but it's been a busy week. As I say, we've been exhibiting and going out with our nitrate sensor. Now this week, we did have our ZP Developer Zone. So we have our ZP Developer Zone every Thursday, 8 AM London time. Aftab and Armet know that, they often attend. I just wanted to say that we did a slightly unusual one this week, that we did spend a lot of time talking about MIPS. And I just feel like molecular imprinted polymers, I've been sort of touching on it, for for a couple of decades now. But it is, at the moment, a technology that seems to have a lot of people's interests. On the face of it, MIPS, molecular imprinted polymers, they do have some good properties that you can fairly quickly maybe make a material that combined to an analyting to form your sensor. So I think at ZP we are interested more so now in actually exploring that, and we've started to bring out a range of essentially precursor solutions so that people can build MIPS now on top of the ZP electrodes. So we have started to bring out a new product line around that. I will explore that in more depth as we go along, but I just wanted to kind of say that. Now lastly, because we went to this show, we also produced a little bit of an animation on the nitrate sensor. So I was happy. So I mean, in the nitrate sense, in that animation, we talk about how we construct the sensor, how we make sure it's waterproof. We talk about how we actually add the sensors to the rod and how we insert the rod actually into the soil. So it was, and the fact is we do now have connectivity between our nitrate sensors and an app. So we generally have an Internet of Things solution. So I was very happy with that. So I'm going to just do a quick, let's say, summary now. I can see it's 8:15 here. So this is sort of been 15 minutes, but let me just indulge me and let's just do a quick summary for this week. So I agree, it has been very nitrate centric this week, but the main themes this week have been, we have been at a show presenting on the nitrate sensor. We have been doing a lot of work around project management, and I think project management is a really important skill and setup to have in any real business. And also now we've also been talking a lot about MIPS, molecular imprinted polymers, this week as well. Now next week there's going to be a real sort of change in pace in some ways, because actually today a couple of us are going to Germany. There's a show happening on the 15th to the 18th called Medica. Historically, Medica has had like 150,000 people attending, but I'm not sure how many are going to attend this year because unfortunately of COVID. But the webinar on Thursday for the ZP Developer Zone, that will be coming from Germany, and you'll probably also see a lot of images coming up through LinkedIn and through our various social media channels, and that will be coming from Germany and Medica. So I want to say a very big thank you to Ahmed this week, and a very big thank you to Aftab this week for attending the vlog. This will become a podcast, and of course it will all be online later on as well. So thanks very much, guys, and I will speak to you